Celebrating Women's History on Wish TV is brought to you by Indiana Funeral Care, Eskenazi Health, Classic Cakes, and Cornerstone Construction.
From activists to trailblazers, Hoosier women continue to revolutionize our city. And tonight, we share the story about a woman who dared to step into a government leadership role, becoming the first woman to serve as majority leader on the City County Council.
News 8's Amisha Ramsey has more on this report.
City County Councilor Maggie Lewis is a community servant who has overcome a lot in life, but chooses to see the good even in hopeless situations. Raised by a single-teen mom, it's a lesson she learned along the way that pushed her to advocate for children and families.
Women are strong. We're strong human beings.
When it comes to balance,
I had to adjust quickly.
The trifecta Maggie Lewis has learned to navigate through life as a wife, mother, and community servant by tossing out perfection.
I gave up this notion of balance a long time ago. So I used to think that I had to keep everything balanced in life. And when I would mess up really big. So I gave myself some grace, and I had to let go of this notion of balance.
As the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Indianapolis and Indianapolis City County Councilwoman, she is a modern-day pioneer.
I know a lot of ceilings have been cracked, and so I just looked for that day when all the ceilings are cracked, and every female feels like I can go on to do whatever I want to do. Again, I'm all about dreaming big and daring to dream big.
While chasing after her dreams, she managed to shatter some glass ceilings, becoming the first woman council president in 2012, and served in that capacity until 2017. In 2018, she was also the first woman elected to serve as majority leader of the council.
It's a lot to carry on your shoulders. However, to whom much is given, much is due.
So I asked the trailblazer this question.
What is it like being you were the first president on City Council as a woman, and now the first woman majority leader on City Council? I know you said heavy is the crown.
Here's the thing, I feel like the good Lord has a great sense of humor, because nothing in my background said I was going to be the first anything, and being the first doesn't come with any like cheat sheets or a booklet on how to be the first female this, the first this, or it just doesn't. So I had to bump my head and I had to learn, but again, it was so important that I showed up and I got it right, because I know, again, I stand on the shoulders of some phenomenal women.
But her journey to becoming doesn't begin here. Lewis's mom had her at the age of 16.
My mother told me long time ago, Maggie Ann, you were called to do something great. You were called to do something good. And so I knew that when I grew up, I was going to be serving others.
Though they struggled, her mother never stopped believing in her.
The wisdom that she had to push education, to do what was right, to be your best, to always bring your best, like that it was magical to me.
It's that same kind of love she tries to pour into the kids at the Boys and Girls Club. She operates 12 locations, serving Indy's underserved youth, many living at or below the poverty line, a journey she can relate to.
We were poor, right? I mean, there's not another way to say it. We were poor. I watched my mother work 2 and 3 jobs to ensure that we had everything that we needed in life.
Despite it all, she continues to push through.
You can have whatever you want. You get to define who you are and what's important to you.
And now life has come full circle for the once club kid who was a part of the program in Columbus, Indiana as a child.
To be able to be at the Boys and Girls Clubs and to love on our kids and be a mentor and provide that support for them, I just feel like it's an opportunity for me to give back the same way that my mother and others, as I grew up, provided to me.
But at the forefront of her list of achievements, family ranks at top. A blessing, she says, isn't earned based on merit or status.
For me, the titles that are important and what's important to me is my faith and my family. And all this other stuff, it really is a bonus, right? I'm a child of God first. I'm a wife first. A mother first. That's the stuff that gets me up every morning.
Councilwoman Lewis continues to level up. Just this month, Community Health Network appointed her to its board of directors. In the studio, Amisha Ramsey, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.